it's that time again to prune a little spare tomato plants. Might as well. I mean, I was down there checking on things. Might as well give a little pruning just in case they survive and the chipmunks don't eat it all. So I have found that the crushed eggshells are not a deterrent to the chipmunks from rooting. They will just move them out of the way and combine them into your soil for you, like composting. You know, when you turn it over, they'll turn over your soil for you. I have found, however, that the watering plate that I set is another distraction for them eating the stuff in the garden. Or they're eating stuff out of the garden and they're dry mouth, so they need some water to wash it down, and then they leave. Either or. This particular part of the bed is a total distraction for the rest of my garden. And I can report so far they're very interested in the camera itself and the watering hole, so to speak. So far, win-win. I have such high hopes for the collard greens this year, but I won't be harvesting them until the fall. I have to protect them from the heat wave for sure. Come on, collard greens. I suppose this gardening season has such high hopes. We started out with a very long, cold May. Usually it starts warming up by the end of May, and then June hit, and usually we're in good condition, and it was cold for the most part of June. So the tomatoes suffered. It's been a really bad year for tomatoes, and now the chipmunks are pulling the green tomatoes off the plant, taking one bite and leaving them on the deck. So I'm having to harvest. I wait for the tomatoes, hopefully, to stay there long enough to get to size, or a size that I can be happy with, and then I'm going to harvest them and put them on a plate under a light to finish growing and get red, which is exactly what they're doing. See, it's turning red, and they're delicious. However, it is very nice to see August come around, not run around, but come around, and see everything in beautiful blooms. Oh, so nice. There's something special about the August garden when the heat of summer is on and everything is growing and happy, and I'm just amazed at the production that the tomato down in the yard is doing. And the pathway I made underneath the honeysuckle tree has been a total joy. That's how I get to the back of my garden. There's the top of the honeysuckle tree that you rarely see, and above that is the canopy of the red cedar. Isn't that something? Yes, look at that. Look at that cedar. And to the right of the cedar is the neighbor's tree, reaching over to canopy my yard. I have a lot of trees in my yard and right behind my fence, which actually is doing quite well, everything I've got growing back there. So with the drought and the heat of this past summer, or this summer, it has done the garden well. It has shaded it. It stayed cool. I've actually put a chair right there where you see the honeysuckle tree beside the fence, and it's so cool in the heat of the day, 30 plus degrees, 100% humidity, and down there under the canopy of the trees, it's very cool. There's my rain barrel. I've been struggling to get enough rain to fill it, but so far, so good. I haven't had to bring water from inside the house for down below in the garden. My spare tomatoes are doing wonderfully, and so is my celery, which I'm going to use that celery for stuffing for my Thanksgiving meal. And I have parsley there, and I have cucumbers that we've been eating on, and I keep forgetting to take their Snacker cucumbers. They're white, and they're delicious. Right there's a baby one. They get about 3 to 4 inches long, and then you harvest them. They are delicious. I keep forgetting to take a picture of them. So I eat them too fast. So So, yes. So between my perennial flowers and shrubs, everything has done quite well this year. With the lack of rain, it's been lack of slugs, so I'm thankful for that. I've had to cover with a broken umbrella my rhubarb a number of times because it's gotten too hot for the rhubarb this summer. But the corn, this Orville Redenbacher pumpkin corn, it's doing fabulously in August. Look at that. Tasseled right up, the pollen, and I hand pollinated a lot of it. That was going to be my distraction noodle for the chipmunks, which worked well. And then I decided to cage a few just to see, because it was just so beautiful. Look at that tassel. Wow, popping corn is gorgeous. Amazing.